Hey everyone, welcome back to the Everyday Fluent podcast, Japanese Bootcamp.
How did everyone do with their homework from last episode? Did you practice introducing yourself?
I've been saying, こんにちは、はじめまして、私はマイケルです to my coffee maker every morning. It's very polite now.
That's dedication. But that's exactly the kind of repetition that helps.
Yeah, it's becoming muscle memory. But I realized something. Once I say my name, the next thing people always ask me in Japan is, where are you from?
Right. It's the natural follow-up after introductions.
Yeah, I don't want to be the guy who just says America and then stands there awkwardly while they try to figure out what to ask next.
Exactly. Then today's episode is for you. We'll learn how to ask where someone's from, how to answer with your own city, and how to keep those conversations flowing naturally.
Okay, I'm so ready for today's dialogue. Let's get into it.
アレックスさん、どこから来ましたか？
アメリカから来ました。ポートランドという町です。
そうですか。アメリカ人ですね。
はい、そうです。
Okay, I caught America, and I think he said Portland? Did he say Portland?
Yes, Arekus-san said ポートランドという町です。A city called Portland.
Okay, this is perfect because it's actually my hometown too. Maybe Alex and I are neighbors.
Who knows? But now you can steal his answer word for word.
Finally, Japanese that I don't have to overthink.
All right, the first question. Where are you from? どこから来ましたか? どこから来ましたか?
I know doko is where.
Right. Next is the little word kara. Think of this as the word from. Then you have kimashita. This is the verb to come, but it's in the past tense form, so it means came. And finally, at the very end, we have ka, our trusty question marker. So put it all together. どこから来ましたか literally means from where did you come?
Naomi-san, I also heard people ask, どこから来たの? Why does it sound different?
Okay, Michael, you just brought up the key idea I want to introduce today. It's what we call verb forms. The shorter, more casual form you mentioned is the plain form of the word came, which is kita.
How many verb forms are there in Japanese?
Oh, that's a huge question. There are a lot of forms. But don't worry, you don't need them right now. If you try to study every form at the start, you won't speak. Think about kids. They copy what they hear and start speaking long before they study grammar.
That makes sense.
So for now, just remember two sounds. That's all you need. We have the polite past tense, mashita, like in kimashita. And then we have the plain past tense, ta, like in kita.
Okay, I can handle that.
Yes! Don't think. Just copy the sound. Your brain will do the work for you. So if you hear どこから来ましたか? You repeat
どこから来ましたか?
same riddle, same tone. That's how your brain starts learning naturally. Now, the casual version, どこから来たの?
どこから来たの?
Now you can ask where people are from.
The no at the end is just like a question mark? Like ka?
That is a brilliant way to put it, Michael. And yes, in a way, it is just like a question mark. Ka makes a polite question. No makes a casual one. Remember to speak the whole sentence out loud and let the rhythm become muscle memory.
Okay, now that we've broken down those two key phrases, it's your turn to practice.
That's right. Just speak out loud. First, the polite version. どこから来ましたか?
And then the casual version, どこから来たの?
So go ahead and hit pause. Practice both of those sentences a few times and press play when you're ready to continue.
All right, so we've figured out the first question in the dialogue. Now let's tackle the answer. アメリカから来ました。ポートランドという町です。You mentioned earlier that you only caught America?
Yeah, but now I recognize kara kimashita because it's the exact same part as in the question. It just doesn't have the where, doko, at the beginning and the question particle ka at the end. So it just means I came from America. Amerikaから来ました.
Exactly. You spotted the pattern. Just swap doko for your country's name. Want to try a few more countries together?
Let's do that. So, I came from Canada.
カナダから来ました。
I came from France.
フランスから来ました。
Australia?
オーストラリアから来ました。
Singapore.
シンガポールから来ました。
Germany.
ドイツから来ました。
Deutsch? That doesn't sound like Germany.
Yeah, ドイツ comes from the German word Deutsch.
Interesting. Okay. I came from UK.
イギリスから来ました。
Hold up. Why is the UK called イギリス? That sounds nothing like Britain or UK either.
イギリス actually comes from the old Portuguese word for English. A long time ago, Japan first heard the name of the country through Portuguese traders.
Cool. So Japanese sometimes borrowed words through other languages?
Not just country names. Same thing happened with pão for bread. That's from Portuguese pão, not English bread. History is everywhere in the language.
Right. I keep wondering why that word is written in katakana script.
Yep, that's how you always recognize a foreign loanword. The Japanese term for these words is gairaigo. You can look more into that.
This is so cool. I know for many people this can feel frustrating, like you have to remember a different word even though it's technically the same. I used to spend a lot of time trying to force myself to remember them, but it felt pointless. So I tried a different approach. I stopped actively learning, and I realized that if you need to use a word or you see it a couple of times, it just comes naturally. And when you think about how that word was adapted in the first place and became well known to everyone in the country, it's actually kind of amazing. I appreciate it for what it is.
Oh, that's a really beautiful way to think about it, Michael. And that's exactly it. What you just described is the core of implicit learning. When you stop fighting to memorize every single rule and just let your brain pick things up through repeated exposure, that's when the language really starts to stick. What's that?
Just that you always sneak in these smart terms. First it was plain form, then gairaigo, and now implicit learning. I feel like I'm getting a free linguistics degree along with my Japanese lessons.
Don't worry, there's no final exam, just lots of practice.
All right, let's go back to my hometown part in the dialogue. ポートランドという町です。
That's a super useful phrase for when you want to name something specific. Portland is Portland. To you means called or named. Machi means town or city. And this makes it polite. So literally, it's a town called Portland. ポートランドという町です。
Oh, I see. So Alex isn't just saying, I came from Portland. He's clarifying that Portland is a city. That's actually a great way to introduce a city that people might not know.
Absolutely. Though for famous cities like Tokyo or New York, you might just say 東京です or ニューヨークです. The という pattern is perfect for smaller cities or when you're not sure if they'll recognize the name. And you can use it to name or specify almost anything. Now, how would you say a person called Alex? Do you know what person is in Japanese?
Okay, Alex is Areksu-san,
Right.
and the word for person is hito.
Right.
So, Areksu-san toyu hito desu.
Perfect. You've got the pattern down. You can use it to introduce friends, talk about a favorite food, or name almost anything. It's an incredibly useful phrase to have in your vocabulary.
This is getting really practical. Now, what about the next part in the dialogue? そうですか。Amerika-jin ですね。
そうですか means I see, or is that so? It's a polite way to acknowledge what someone just told you. Then Amerika-jin means American person. And desu at the end is like saying, isn't it, or right?
So they're saying, I see, you're American, aren't you?
Exactly. This is such a natural follow-up. When someone tells you their country, you might confirm their nationality. The pattern is super useful. Country, then jin.
So if someone is from Canada, they're Kanada-jin.
Perfect. Or フランス人 for French person, ドイツ人 for German person. It's a really consistent pattern.
And Alex responds with, はい、そうです. Yes, that's right.
Exactly. はい means yes, and そうです means that's right or that's correct. It's the simple way to confirm what someone guessed about you.
Got it. So if someone says, oh, you're American, I can just say, はい、そうです, and keep the conversation going.
Right. And now you have all the pieces to try it yourself. Let's practice.
Okay, let's give it a shot.
マイケルさん、どこから来ましたか？
アメリカから来ました。ポートランドという町です。
そうですか。アメリカ人ですね。
はい、そうです。
Perfect! You just had your first complete Japanese geography conversation.
That felt actually achievable. But I have to ask, what if someone asks me where I'm from and I've never been to Japan? Should I still use the past tense, kimashita?
Great question. If you haven't been to Japan yet, you can say where you're from using a different pattern. Amerika出身です. Amerika出身です, meaning I'm from America or America origin. But honestly, kimashita works fine, even if you're just talking about where you came from originally.
That's helpful. And what if I want to ask someone where they're from in return?
Just flip it back. Naomi-san wa? Meaning, what about you, Naomi? Or you could ask the full question. どこから来ましたか?
These phrases are gold. But before we practice more, I have to ask, I've heard that Japanese sounds different depending on where you are in Japan. Is that true?
Oh, absolutely. That's a great observation. You're thinking about dialects or holgen in Japanese. The two most famous are Tokyo dialect, which is standard Japanese, and Kansai dialect from the Osaka-Kyoto area.
What's the difference?
Well, in standard Tokyo Japanese, people say そうですか for I see, but in Kansai, you might hear そうか or even そうやな.
That sounds completely different.
Right. And where Tokyo people might say Amerika-jin desu ne, Kansai people might say Amerika-jin ya na. It has a completely different rhythm, almost more musical.
So if I'm in Tokyo versus Osaka, I might hear totally different responses to the same questions.
Exactly. Kansai people are also known for being more direct and funny. But don't worry as a beginner, everyone understands standard Japanese, and most people will switch to standard Japanese when talking to foreigners.
That's actually kind of exciting. Like there are these hidden varieties of Japanese to discover.
And Kansai dialect especially has this reputation for being warmer and funnier. Many famous comedians are from Kansai.
Wait, I want to try something. Can you ask me in Kansai dialect? I'm curious how different it sounds.
Oh, fun. Okay, here's how someone from Osaka might ask. どこから来たん? Notice how it's more casual and musical?
Wow, that does sound completely different. How would I answer back in Kansai style?
You could say, アメリカから来たんや? ポートランドっていう町やねん. But honestly, as a beginner, just stick with standard Japanese. People will appreciate the effort either way.
That's so cool, though. It really does sound more musical. I can see why people say Kansai dialect is warmer.
Exactly. Now you can have this conversation with anyone you meet.
All right, let's do a quick review of everything we covered today.
Okay, we learned how to ask where someone is from, どこから来ましたか?
And how to answer with your country and city. アメリカから来ました。ポートランドという町です。
We learned the という pattern for specifying or naming things. Name, という, category, des.
We covered nationalities with the jin pattern. Amerika-jin, Kanada-jin, France-jin.
Don't forget the polite acknowledgement, そうですか, I see, and how to confirm, はい、そうです, yes, that's right.
And we talked about the difference between polite ka and casual no question markers, plus that fascinating cultural note about Kansai versus Tokyo dialect.
Plus all those country names and how some come from unexpected sources, like igurisu from Portuguese and doitsu from German.
The big takeaway is that this conversation happens every day when people meet for the first time, and now you have all the tools to participate naturally instead of just saying your country name and going silent.
Exactly. And hey, if you're getting value from these episodes, we'd be so grateful if you could subscribe and maybe leave us a review. Honestly, knowing that people are out there practicing with us and making progress, that's what keeps us going.
Yeah, your support really means everything to us. So if you're enjoying the show, please hit that subscribe button. It helps other learners find us too.
Thanks for listening, everyone. This is Everyday Fluent Podcast, Japanese Bootcamp.
Keep practicing and see you in the next one.